my website right now and download my free course on alternate picking mastery. It contains 5 essential exercises that will take you to alternate picking mastery faster than you can imagine. And then I've included my method of how to lay out a practice plan in just 1 to 2 minutes that will absolutely boost your results like nothing you ever tried before. So go download it right now. It's free. Hey, where should you start? If you want to learn to really master music theory, where should you start? Because, you know, it seems like such a big empty space of information. But the first point here is that don't make music theory into something that exists with a right to exist by itself. It's only theory about music. And the reason why it's there is for us to be able to understand on a conceptual level what goes on so that we can do stuff, right? So the way I learned music theory was simply, I was taught some chords, right? Taught some songs, and I played songs, and I played classical pieces in the beginning, and that was all cool. But when I wanted to try and create songs for myself, then the first question appeared, how do you put chords together? In the beginning, I just stole, I took like 4, 5, 6 chords from a song, and then I just mixed them around and try to create something for myself because I had no idea how they related until I learned about keys, until I learned about the diatonic scale and where chords come from and why they relate to each other. Once I had that in understanding, bam, I could suddenly put chords together in a totally new way. The same thing went for, the next thing was like, scales. I learned the minor pentatonic, the first position shape, and then I started moving that around. And then whenever there was a song, I just got used to using my ear to figure out where I should play that scale on the neck for it to sound, good. So that was kind of my solution to that. So I didn't need music theory in order to find the scale that I could play. But sometimes the chord changed in the background, and then my scale didn't work anymore, and I had no idea why. Right? And that's another instance where you say, okay, let's go into music theory. What's really going on here? Why can't I use my old pentatonic over that chord? What's going on, right? And so it was kind of a ear thing where I listened for stuff and this works. And then I had to go to music theory when my ear couldn't solve the problem. The next thing was I learned the major scale and the minor scale. And I learned to combine that with the minor pentatonic, but suddenly there was a new problem there because every note in the major scale didn't sound good over every chord in the key. This is a C major in the background chord and a C major scale, right? And I had to, how do I use that scale so it sounds good? And that was the next thing, right? And the cool thing is, if you learn music theory like this, then you instantly remember whatever you figure out, whatever information you come about that will solve your problem and give you the understanding you need in order for you to do the thing you so desperately want to do. Then once that happens, you remember that information instantly. It never leaves you. Never. But if you try to learn music theory as a way, I have to study, like I have to study Latin, Dominus, Erectus, whatever, right? In order to, it just doesn't make sense. Just cut that, academic, I hate it. Just let me be honest with you. I hate that way of learning because you take something that used to have a purpose and then you place it in a box by itself and say, this has a purpose by itself. No, it doesn't. I don't give a hoot about music theory. I only give a hoot about the stuff in there that I can actually use to make a difference in my playing. So cut that crap, right? Just leave it. And then you can throw concepts at people. If you know music theory, you can throw, could you play the subdominant of the tritone substitution of the 4th degree of the, right? And that's not, you can, go on about that and learn that and have fun, seeming more learned than other people. But that's not really what I want to do. I want to learn to play this instrument, and I want to do the best I can, right? So the answer to the question, where should I start with music theory, is just start wherever you have a problem, wherever there's something you don't understand. What do you want to learn to do? And then say, okay, how do I learn to do that? How do I understand what goes on there? And then music theory really becomes something non-existent. You really just ask questions and then people explain to you how stuff works, and that's music theory. But you forget it is, because it's just an explanation to what goes on, right? So that's the way to go about it in the most efficient way, in my perspective.
Subscribe for more free videos. Do it. Do it now. Do it.